Hello, everybody. We're going to be starting a new project today. Now, the project is something I actually want to create with you guys, and I have some ideas on how we can do that. But the first thing we have to do is design the project in TinkerCAD. All right, we're going to make a travel size checkerboard. So it's not going to be too huge, but this is something that we could make, and then I can go into the school, use the laser cutter to cut these things out, and um, send them to you guys in the mail, depending on time and how this all takes place. If we're back to school, I can just hand them to you. But if we get this done quickly, I already have the materials set up. We're ready to go. All we have to do is create the work. All right. So we're going to start today by creating just the checkers themselves. And then in the next couple of classes, we'll show you how we're going to create the checkerboard. So when you get this, go into TinkerCAD, and please someone tell me if you're having trouble getting in, but I think you might just use the link in the class assignment 4, and when it takes you there, you just re-enter your nickname, or it might just bring you into this screen right here. With that, when you come into this screen, we're going to start by creating a new design. And when we create this design today, not only do we want to create the checkers, we want to learn some new tools. And these new tools are going to help us when we go to design the checkerboard. And depending on time, depending on how things work out, if it's a longer stay or a longer shutdown, I even have a second project that we might work on, which is a balloon-powered car that we'll get to after this. It's just more complicated to design, so we're going to do this one first. So when we're in here, first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our file name. So go up here and just backspace this, type in checkers, and then your name, uppercase. There we go. All right, so we changed our name. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go edit our grid again. All right, when we go to edit our grid, we're going to change it to inches. Then we're going to make this 12 inches. Actually make it 10 inches. Make this one 10 inches like we've been working with so far. Then we click Update Grid, and we'll see our grid size change. Now, the first thing we're going to start right off with today is the ruler tool we learned how to use last time. So we're going to grab the ruler. We're going to drag it aside, more over towards the left edge, and we let it go. Now, we're going to use the cylinder to create the checker. So the first thing we have to do is to get the cylinder the right size. And the right size is going to be a 1/2 inch cylinder. So we're going to go to the width, type in 0.5. We're going to go to the depth. We're going to type in 0.5 again. And then the height is going to be 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch. Now we have our checker size. So like I said, this is going to be a travel size. It's not going to be a full-size checkerboard, but it's going to be something you can definitely play on. So now we're going to take this first checker, and we're going to move this first checker to 0. So I'll go down to the 4.5, change that to a 0, make my x-axis 0. Now I'll make my y-axis 0. And our first checker is now set at 0, 0. When we get done with this, we're going to use a new tool today called Copy and Paste. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to Copy. You can see up here on the top left side of the screen where the finger's pointing, we have our copy control. All right. I'm going to click on that. Then right next to it is a little clipboard for pasting it. We're going to click on that, and you'll see it brings up another checker for us down here. So now we're going to leave our y-axis at 0, and we're going to make 12 checkers across this way. And I'll show you how we can do it much easier as we go through. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the X to 5/8 of an inch, which if you go down to this dimension right here, do you see how it turns the green arrow red? That's signifying the beginning of that second checker. We're going to click on that. We're going to change it to 0.625. We can hit enter. And that leaves us a little gap so we can cut it out. We're going to paste the next checker. And once again, we're going to go down to this dimension. And you can see when I put my arrow over it, it turns this arrow red. So we know we're changing the right dimension. We don't want to change the size of the checker, which is in blue up here. We want to change the distance from the 0 on the x-axis. The second one is going to be at 1 1/4 inches. So that'll be 1.25, enter. And it slides it over one more time. We're going to do this one more time, and this is going to give us our fourth checker. Now, this checker is going to be set to 1 7/8 of an inch, which is 1.875. Enter. And you can see now we have all 4 checkers equally spaced. Now, obviously, it's going to take more than 4 checkers to play the game. So we need 12 red and we need 12 black. So what we're going to do next is we're going to group these 4 checkers. And the way we do that is really easy. We're going to push down the shift control on the computer. And then we're going to click all 4 checkers. It will put all these 4 checkers together. And actually, we can just group this. I don't know what I was thinking. We'll group it. Now, we have our group of 4. We're going to copy and paste our group of 4. And now you can see down here, our second group of 4 starts at 1.187. And we're going to change this to 2.5 or 2.5 inches. Set that second group out, and we need one more because we need 12 red checkers and 12 black checkers. So we're going to paste this again, and this one we're going to set on this distance right here with the green arrow. 5. All right. Now when we look at this, we have 12 checkers we just created. So now we're going to group these checkers once again. So we get one big group of checkers. Go up to our group tool up here again, which we also learned last time. We're going to click on group. And now we have all 12 checkers together. And now we're going to copy again. We're going to paste again. And now we have our second group. So this time, we're going to move this group up the y-axis. So we're going to go over here to the 0 all the way on this side. And you can see when I put my arrow over this, that 0 turns red. And also this little line by the 0 turns red right there. So I'm going to click on this. And my dimension is going to be 5/8 of an inch, which is 0.625. And we just move that up. Now we want to bring that over this way. So our x is going to be 0. And now we have them lined up. The last thing we have to do is just change the color. This top group will make black. The bottom group we will make red. And now we have 12 checkers. Now, later in the process, once we have the checkerboard created, I'm going to show you guys how we can turn this into, I'm going to show you how we turn this into an SVG file, which is something that the laser cutter can use to turn into a part of the program. We're using the program that allows us to cut them out. These will all be cut with the laser cutter. And then we'll create a checkerboard that will also be cut. And the cross bars that create the checkerboard will also be drawn by the laser. So I think it'll be pretty neat. It'll be something that's easy, something you can have some fun with while you're locked in your house. So we'll see how it goes. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask. All right. It's really important to me that you guys do your best to get these done. If you can't understand my videos, don't be afraid to tell me. I can always make some changes to them. Um, it's just really important that we get them done. Try to help me help you. All right, guys and girls, have a great day. Good luck with this. See you on the next video.